Then I went again.
Well, he said
Spiritual dimension.
How precious and how
unimportant the world is.
I became a family.
Everyone else was astonished.
The Korff family lives in the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn.
I was 13 years old at the time, Purim Tashmim Tes, 1989. We had Kirsat Megillah in the morning by the Rebbe's minyan, then the Rebbe said a sikh after Mincha, then the Rebbe said a sikh after Ma'ariv again, at the end of Purim, and there was actually someone there very besimcha, and the Rebbe said that Mimenu Yiru v'chein Yasu, we should learn from him to carry the simcha of Purim. So especially the Rebbe said such sikha, they went afterwards, my father and my older brothers, to have a lively fabring in honor of Purim, to carry the simcha of Purim. I was only 13 at the time. So I went back home. My mother was home, I was home, and my two younger brothers, Psachi, who was 7 years old, and Beryl, who was 5 years old. About 1 o'clock in the morning, my mother woke up from the noise of the smoke alarm. My mother got up to see what was going on, and she sees fire. She started screaming on top of her lungs, fire! We heard this, we got terrified, jumped out of bed. The first thing I did was dash for the door, and we ran to go out. The second we walked outside, we realized that our younger brother, Psachi, did not make it out. We ran to call the fire department, and we told them that Psachi is inside, they should look for him. We're standing outside in the courtyard, we see our window, we see it's black, we see things crumbling there, and it's full with smoke, till we were notified that the fire department actually found Psachi on the floor. They rushed him to the hospital. My mother went with him. My cousin that lived on the block went around all Crown Heights to find my father. Rebbe Groner told us that he went to the Rebbe and told him first-hand account what he saw, what went on by the fire, and what was going on. And he said the Rebbe asked a lot of questions about what happened.
My nephew came to me by the Fabringe and told me, you know, how your house was a fire, but somebody was the first eldest. I happened somebody a little bit, Psachi, a little bit, he wanted to tell me the whole thing. And you know, he's going home now. No, he went to the hospital. He's in the hospital or something? Yeah, in the hospital. He's come to the hospital, then I found out home, I said.
In 1989, Dr. Gary Zuckerman was a third-year resident in Kings County Hospital.
When they brought the child in, it was now about 2 in the morning. He was this little boy, and I clearly remember he was barely breathing, and he was covered in the soot from the smoke and unconscious. So we rushed him into the back area where we do all our critical resuscitation, and we worked on him for quite a while. It was probably at least 45 minutes to an hour. The only thing we could do to possibly help him was perform what's called hyperbaric therapy. It was about 3:30 in the morning. I called my chief resident, Dr. Dichek, on the phone, explained to him what was going on.
In those days, the only hyperbaric chamber, which was the only therapy that existed for smoke inhalation in those days, was in somewhere in the Bronx. And the way it worked is you had to get the police helicopter, the NYPD, to transport the child with us to the Bronx and to do it.
I explained to the parents very frankly that given his condition, he could very easily die before we ever got him to the helicopter. He could die in the helicopter. He could die in the chamber. He could get through the entire therapy and still die. He was that critical. And then the other thing I had told them was that even if he survived, it was very possible, given how poorly his breathing was and the possibility that he was without oxygen, we didn't know if when we woke him up whether he would have any degree of brain damage, which could be very extreme and leave him in almost a vegetative state. We got Psachi in the ambulance, and I had to use a special bag to breathe for him the whole way.
I came to the hospital to cover the other children who were left back in the ICU, and Gary called me every hour or two, giving me updates. In those days we didn't have cell phones, it was a lot different. And he said, Stu, I really don't think this kid is going to make it. He's so unstable. And I said, Gary, just hang with him. Let's just get to the next hour. Let's do it hour by hour. And he was intubated on a ventilator. He was in a coma. His brain was seriously swollen from the smoke inhalation and the lack of oxygen. And the parents came, and there were a lot of people around, and they brought a picture of the Rebbe that they put at the head of his bed, as I recall. And Sue Holtzman, who was the head nurse of the ICU, was a great head nurse in those days. Sue looked at me in the morning when she came in. She said, "I don't think this kid is survivable."
The night after, Mitzoi, Shushampurim. It was also a sikha. Not usual, Mitzoi Shushampurim. It was a sikha. The Rebbe was giving out to everyone $3 then. That's the bracha for him. And the Rebbe looked to him for a craving. But in the truth, I wasn't calm, because the bracha, I wasn't...
My father went to the back of the shul, and he didn't have a chance to daven Ma'ariv before, so he's standing on the side davening Ma'ariv. By then, the Rebbe finished giving out dollars. The Rebbe put $3 into the back of his siddur. And when he walked out and came to the back of the shul, he noticed my father.
Then the Rebbe went through, and he was already staying near the door. I was staying there. And the Rebbe went by, also to the Rebbe. And the Rebbe asked, "Hast du genommen für ihn?" "Hast du genommen für ihn?" I said, "No." The Rebbe given the $2 for him. Then I came down. I know I forgive him. Even though then was still sleeping, it wasn't the whole day, they didn't wake up. But I knew at sof I will give him the $3. Then I come down. That was me Wednesday night. It's Friday morning, he's waked up. I give him $3. We could even daven the same day. On Sunday morning, he was staying about $1 by the Rebbe.
The full story can be seen in the new Gem film, A Glimpse Through the Veil 2, Wondrous Stories of the Rebbe, available now.